Good afternoon, Danielle Norwood with WIBW News Now, and we are here with Chef Kyle from HyVee. He is our culinary expert, and with Memorial Day just a few days away, we want to talk about something that people can actually take time to do in their kitchens, both inside or on the grill. So, Chef Kyle, what are we doing today?
Absolutely. Well, we've got a great on the grill item, though we're inside today. It's a little gloomy out, so
Just a tad.
Just a tad. Yeah, we didn't want to be out in the rain. So we're going to do this inside today. We've got our thick cut pork chops, which are going to rub with a nice pesto marinade. And then we're going to do some fresh cut vegetables that we're then going to put inside foil and put on our inside grill here with a little bit of balsamic, some olive oil, some salt, and some garlic. And then we're going to make a Peppadew pepper smashed potato, which these are Yukon Gold potatoes that I've parboiled so that they're nice and squishy, and I'll show you what we're going to do with those. And then we've got the Peppadew peppers with our sour cream. Then we'll finish that off with a little bit of a chopped green onion. It'll be a nice little fresh meal for the springtime.
Now, you almost stumped me with the whole Peppadew peppers, so let's talk about that.
So yeah, they're actually a South African pepper, and they're very piquant, which just means that they're not super spicy.
Okay.
So they're
kind of like a banana pepper, a little bit?
A little bit like that.
Okay.
Like that. They're vinegary, they're sweet, and they're very good. My favorite pepper, hands down. You could stuff them with Boursin cheese as a great little appetizer, and then throw those on the grill. They're great.
And these are all things that we can find here at the HyVee.
Absolutely, absolutely. I got all this stuff out here at HyVee Land, and I got the 2 pork chops there for less than $5.
Really?
Yeah.
And those are some thick chops too.
Nice thick pork chops with the bone in. I always like the bone in better.
I do
tastes
too.
Better.
More flavor.
Exactly. Exactly.
Well, let's just go ahead and start. What do we need to do
let's
first?
Get into it. So we're going to take these pork chops and we're going to rub them down with a little bit of our pesto. So I'm going to take a nice
Now this is a jarred pesto.
Here. Yes. This one is a jarred pesto. It's the one I got off the shelf here today.
Now, some people are actually more ambitious than I am, and they'll actually make it themselves in the food processor. But what's in a pesto, in case people don't know?
Pesto is just basil, garlic, Parmesan cheese, pine nuts, all blended together with some olive oil, and it's a really great little marinade. Or you can mix it with a little bit of cream. You got a nice sauce to go over your pasta.
One of my favorite pasta sauce kind of combinations.
Absolutely, it's great. All right, so we'll just flip those over. We're going to put a little more pesto on the other side. There we go. Nice. Quick rub down. Excellent. All right, so then we're going to get our pan nice and screaming hot. Just take about a minute here to do that. And while we're waiting on that, I'm going to pour a little olive oil in there, about 2 tablespoons of olive oil in that nice screaming hot pan. And you'll always know that your pan is ready when you see a little bit of wisp of smoke come off your oil.
And would vegetable oil work just as well, or olive oil is your preferred oil?
I like olive oil just because it's easy and I use it for so many different things. When you're in your kitchen, you want to condense your ingredients as much as possible, cross-utilize as much as possible, as we say in the restaurant industry. So you want to cross-utilize, so I use olive oil for just about everything. Some things I don't use. If I'm going to use a super high heat, then I don't use olive oil because it smokes quite badly. But this one will work quite well for this particular application.
And isn't it healthier?
It is a little bit healthier than some of the other oils that have trans fats and things like that. So this one is natural, not over-processed. It's just a pressed olive oil.
Okay.
It's not a first pressing like a virgin olive oil, but it is just a general olive oil. So we've got our pan there. It's just about there. All right, so when we put it in there, we ought to hear a nice searing sound. There we go. And we don't want to burn the pesto, but we do want that pan to be hot so we get a nice caramelization on the pork chops.
Now, when you were getting the pork chops, I know that the butchers here at HyVee can do special accommodations. So if you want a thicker pork chop like I do, they can actually cut it right here.
For sure, yeah. If you wanted like a big, thick, double bone pork chop, like a 14-ounce pork chop, that would be great on the grill. You want to cook that nice and low and slow. But yeah, we'd be more than happy to cut that for you. Call ahead, and they'd be more than happy to get it done for you, and then you can pick it up at your designated time.
Really? So you could actually call ahead of time and pull up, go in, get it, and it's just that quick?
Absolutely, yeah.
Nice.
You just call ahead, tell them when you'd like it, and they'll have it ready for you.
Okay.
Absolutely. Right. So while we are caramelizing those pork chops, we're going to cut up our vegetables. All right. So what I've got here is some nice summer squash. I've got a red pepper and some nice little baby Bella mushrooms. So with our vegetables, we want to cut these nice and thick because they're going on that grill, and they'll kind of cook down and they'll shrink.
Okay.
But so we don't want them to shrink so much that we don't have anything to eat. So we cut them nice and thick. Good. Great. All right.
And you wouldn't use like the bigger squash. You just use like this baby kind of yellow squash.
Yeah, the yellow squash, zucchini is really good right now. So get that if you can. I couldn't get any zucchini today.
Really?
Yeah, even with my pole, I couldn't get any zucchini. So.
Oh, that's funny. Well, maybe it's because all the people who are trying to low carb are using it for zoodles.
Exactly. You got that nice spiral slicer.
Exactly.
There we go. So we're going to cut this pepper down just a little bit. So we've cut all the sides off. Try and utilize as much of it as possible. And we're going to cut that nice and thick also. So I'm going to
That's one of my favorite snacks is the bell pepper with some hummus.
Beautiful, yeah.
Because again,
Excellent.
if we're trying to go low carb,
absolutely,
you could still have that whole snack thing going on and some flavor to it.
For sure. So these I just cut into nice big 1-inch squares.
Okay.
All right. Here we go.
So the point is to not pulverize it so it gets lost on the grill.
Exactly. You don't want to lose it on the grill. A and B. We're going to be putting this in foil, so we're not going to lose it. But also, vegetables are mostly water, so they're going to shrink down quite a bit just due to evaporation and all that. So we want to cut them nice and thick so we have something to actually, poke our fork into.
Okay.
So we're going to flip these pork chops because they look nice and they're getting nice and browned. So there we go. Get it turned over. And don't worry if they just stick a little bit. That's not a problem. You'll have plenty of pork chop left. There we go. So once we turn that over, we're ready to go into the oven. I've got a 350-degree oven preheated. And since
just that quickly?
Just that quickly. And it's going to take about 15 minutes in a 350-degree oven to get those done.
Now, how important is it to cook pork properly? Because I know it's one of those meats, it's not like beef, which is less forgiving. You need to cook it to the proper temperature.
Exactly. People get confused about pork, it being a meat that you need to overcook and be really dry. That's not the case. If you cook a nice pork loin or pork chop to 145 degrees, you're going to be more than happy with that. And what I like to use is a nice digital meat thermometer. And if you use one of these, you get it to 145, you're going to be safe, but you're also going to have a great, juicy pork chop.
So it doesn't have to be charred and all crispy
exactly.
like some people would like to make it.
Exactly, like my grandma used to make.
I had mine too. Love you, Grandma. But anyhow.
Love you, Grandma. Oh, but anyway. So we're going to take these vegetables and we're going to put them into a nice big piece of foil. I'm not going to use all of these vegetables. They're going to get away from me too. There we go. So we're going to put these vegetables in here. Grab a few of the mushrooms as well.
Spring and summer are my favorite seasons because you can actually get vegetables that look beautiful, they taste good, and it doesn't take a whole lot to prepare them.
Absolutely, yeah. Less is more with fresh vegetables in the summer and spring and summer, that is, because they're so tasty, they're so fresh. You don't need to do a whole lot to them. So I just give them a nice smattering of kosher salt. Sprinkle some nice fresh garlic.
My personal favorite.
That we've chopped up. All right. And then we're going to take a little bit of balsamic vinegar. Pardon me. nice little balsamic vinegar and give it a little dousing there. There you go.
And what does the acidity do?
The acidity just it gives
Adds
it depth.
extra zing?
Yeah, extra zing. Gives a little depth of flavor, and allows the vegetables to kind of marinate and give a different flavor. We don't want everything to taste like garlic.
Okay.
So it gives it a little depth of flavor within the dish. We've got garlic in the pesto. We've got garlic in the vegetables themselves, but we don't want that to be the overpowering flavor of the entire dish.
Gotcha.
All right. So we get these out of the way.
Now, if you didn't have a grill set up on your stove, what could you do?
You know what? You could actually just, since we'd be in a kitchen where you can access the outdoors more easily, I would just turn on my grill, take them out there, throw them on the grill real quick, and then go back inside. Come back in about 10-15 minutes, check on them, stir them around.
Okay.
And that'd be real easy fix on that. But yeah, if you don't have that, you could actually just turn on your broiler in your oven, throw them in there, and they'll be done in 10-15 minutes.
Same kind of foil packet.
Absolutely, just same kind of foil packet.
Okay.
It'll work just as well. You might throw it on a sheet pan just to be safe. So
to catch the juices?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yes, because nobody wants to clean the oven after dinner.
Exactly. All right, so we've got our vegetables going. We've got our pork chops in the oven. Now it's time to do our potatoes. I'm going to get these out of the way so I have my cutting board back.
And what kind of potato are you using this time?
We're using a Yukon Gold potato.
Now, did you choose it because of the peeling? You could just kind of mash it down and it add some extra color?
Absolutely, but they're also a nice consistency when you parboil them like this. They're very fluffy and nice, and they'll hold their shape very well when I do what I'm going to do to them.
Okay.
So we've got our pan on there. We're going to throw a little more olive oil in the pan, a good amount, because we don't want these potatoes to stick. All right. Now then, what we're going to do is just take our hand and press them down.
Like a smashed potato.
Exactly. We're not mashing them, we're smashing them.
Gotcha.
So we're going to do a couple, since we're doing two potatoes, since we're doing two pork chops, we'll do 4 potatoes.
I'm like,
two
potatoes for me, hello.
These are big ones. These are big guys. So they're going to be nice. So you just give it a little pressure until you feel it give, and you've got your smashed potato.
What's cool about the smashed potato is that you get the best of a mashed potato and a fried potato all in one.
Exactly.
So you got a little fried crispiness, and at the same time you got the creaminess of the potato too.
Exactly. You said it better than I could. All right. There we go. So we're just going to get these in the pan. And it doesn't matter if they break up a little bit. They'll be fine. We're just going to get them in there and get them nice and crispy, as you said. So we get those pressed in there. Great. Okay. So we got that there. We're going to let those sit for about 3 or 4 minutes on a side.
Okay.
And then we'll come back to them and flip them over. Last thing is going to be our Peppadew sour cream. Basically. Yeah, Peppadew sour cream. So we're going to take
these look a lot like pimentos to me.
A little bit, yeah. And they're like I said, they're my favorite ones. Yep, they're jarred.
Okay.
And you can actually get them off of our. We have an olive bar down across from the deli, and they're just as good off of there. Plus, you don't have to buy the whole jar.
Which is nice. You take what you need and keep moving.
Exactly. You may use these a few times a year. I like to use them during Christmas because they got nice color. You can put them with green onions and got those Christmas colors. Yeah. So but they're a great pepper. You can utilize them for just about anything. Like I said, they're just a sweet, vinegary pepper, almost like a banana pepper, but sweeter. I think you'll see what I mean when I put it with this.
So could you use this like a substitute for anything that you would use, like a regular red pepper?
Absolutely, yeah. If you want just a little bit more punch to it, not necessarily heat, but just a little bit more acidity and sweetness, yeah, you could use it in place of a red pepper as well.
Some of us love the Mississippi pot roast recipe, and I think that that would work well in that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I know just what you're going for, and it will also give it that. I don't know if you've ever had a pot roast with ginger snaps in it.
No.
Oh, okay. Well.
Okay, I guess that will be something else we're cooking.
Yeah, well, a ginger snap pot roast. This kind of mimics that sort of flavor also with the ginger snap gravy. But yeah, that was one of my grandma's
ginger snap.
Ginger snap cookies. Yep, absolutely, absolutely. Or
soon to be on WIBW News.
We'll have to try that one out. Don't worry. All right, that's great. All right, so we got those guys going, and we need to flip them over, and we'll just use this fork here. All right. So he's brown in there. All right, good. Like I said, they're going to fall apart a little bit, and
that's okay.
That's okay. There we go. Good. And if you like them a little more crispy, you can let them go just a little bit longer. Great. So back to our sour cream here. We've got those nice peppers chopped up, and I just gave them a light chop, and they're nice and diced up now. So we're going to add them to our sour cream. Great. And I'm just going to mix them in here.
So pretty.
Yeah. Got good color. There we go. It's going to add a little depth to our potatoes.
And I think you follow the philosophy that you eat with your eyes first.
Absolutely. You have to. I mean, when I used to work in the kitchen, a lot of times, you know, we got to figure out ways to get people to buy things, because you're looking at the case and it's just kind of brown and green and that sort of thing. So you got to find ways to catch people and catch their eyes. So that's definitely one of the things. You got to find different colors that work out. So we definitely want to eat with our eyes first. All right. So there's that. We've got that ready for us. And now our green onion. It's the garnish of the dish.
The one thing you will consistently find in my refrigerator are green onions.
Yes.
I love them.
They're good for everything. Not too overpowering, but have plenty of flavor to back up whatever you're doing in your dish. There we go. Great. Good. All right, I'm going to make a little pile of these here, so we can use those too.
And you can use the green and the white.
Oh yeah, you can.
Because there are some people's like, well, I only use the white, I don't use the green. I'm like, you're wasting the onion.
Absolutely. I didn't cut all the way into it, but yeah, you could go all the way down to the root with those. They're very tasty all the way through. All right, so I think our potatoes are done. Our pork chops should be done.
Through the magic of TV.
Yes, absolutely. Pork chops are done.
Oh, wow, look at that.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
And the juice is just nice, just
Right.
flowing out. And all of these ingredients can be found at the HyVee, and they're open 24/7, which for those of us who live in this area is perfect, because literally I might be in my jammies coming down here to get some items. So, you know, it's there when you need them to be there. Plus, we were talking about last time the fact that they also deliver.
Absolutely,
So
yeah.
you don't have to leave your house, and HyVee will bring you groceries.
You don't even have to get out of your jammies.
Which is perfect, too.
Exactly. There we go. So we're going to
that looks beautiful.
put those potatoes down first. All right. Set that aside. All right.
I hear the foil packet
Yes.
sizzling with the vegetables, too.
Yes. Yeah. Good. All right. Then we're going to add our Peppadew sour cream.
It's almost like a loaded potato.
Yes,
like a loaded baked potato.
Exactly. We didn't put bacon on it because we've already got our pork here. But yeah, you've got almost everything for a loaded baked potato. There we go.
And those who are a little health conscious, you could use like a non-fat sour cream. I don't know why you would, but you could actually use that.
You absolutely could. Absolutely. So we got those there. Okay. Gonna put our pork chops down.
They look beautiful.
Thank you. Great. All right. Great. vegetables.
And how long did you put those on there for?
Oh, I think they were on there for about 5 or 10 minutes.
Okay.
They'll be a little crisp, but
Al dente, as they say.
Al dente, yes. But they're nice. You can smell that. Smell that balsamic and olive oil coming off of there. All right, beautiful.
You really can get a whiff of the balsamic vinegar.
Absolutely. There we go. Okay. You could add more vegetables as you like. Just get a nice little color in there. Oh. All right.
Doesn't that look beautiful?
Yes, thank you. So, now we've got our pesto pork chops, our balsamic marinated vegetables that have been grilled, and then we've got our Peppadew smashed potatoes topped off with green onions.
That looks amazing. And again, Memorial Weekend, instead of just doing your typical brats on the grill or hot dogs, why don't you do something that's going to impress your guests and didn't take a whole lot of time to do?
Absolutely, yeah. You can do this in less than 30 minutes.
Awesome. Well, Chef Kyle, thank you for being on with us. Danielle Norwood with WIBW News Now.